Welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today we're going jet flying in the Lightning 2. Don't forget to visit letsflyvfr.com if you're looking for any help. And subscribe and like if you like to leave me a comment. So let's have a look at the cockpit of this. This is all created obviously from X-Plane 11 panels and they've been merged in, but it's been done very, very well. Got all the active controls in the cockpit. And a very nice model. The model's great. It has active doors. You can open and close for weapons. There's a lot of bits and pieces that I haven't had to play with, but I just wanted to give you a little introduction into the aircraft. I saw this aircraft flying for real only recently at the Edinburgh Airshow, and really, truly amazing it is. Now, if you want to get some sort of comparison to its agility, and a lot of that comes down to power. The F-16, when it first came out, had 25,000 pounds of thrust, and it's about the same size aircraft. It's roughly the same size in dimensions. The 35A is a little bit chubbier as we go flying past that Cessna. Might have to go home for a new pair of jocks, that guy. But 25,000 pounds of thrust in the old F-16 when it came out. It was amazing, 9G sustained turns. Well, the F-35 Lightning II comes out with around about 24,000 pounds dry that's out of reheat and something like 43,000 pounds of thrust, which is just mind-boggling when it's in full reheat. So, and this looks magnificent in VR as well, but I've chosen just to do this 2D because, well, I can only show you 2D when I fly, and it gets a lot more performance, a lot more better performance when we're flying around. So let's have a look at some of the stuff that can do. We've just taken off. We'll have a bit of a fly around, have a look at some of the local scenery, do a bit of low level work and fly around over. This is the Newcastle Airbase / airport, which is the airport is on the side we are currently on, and the airbase is on the other side. Now it looks something like it. And there's room for lots of aeroplanes to be parked down there. So let's head out towards the sea, and then we're going to head north, I think it is, and head out and around. The modelling is just, as I say, is magnificent. Great work done by, I think it was Michael, is the gentleman who's created, but he's had a lot of help, and a project like this does need a lot of help. There's a lot of people involved doing the 3D work. Textures and flight models, along with the sounds. You know, it's a really great job. And if you notice, as I turn left and right, you can hear the sound will get louder in one side or the other. Now here we're flying past the sand dunes, and giving the afterburner a good serve. Let's watch this thing climb. Get up to about 20,000 feet in hardly any time. Doing a bit of rolling around, and you can break it. You've got to be a little careful. You can actually hurt yourself in this one. You pull too many G's, too many negatives, and it will spit you out and throw you back on the ground in no time. Got a bit of zoom level 19 ortho. We're flying around the airbase here. Did this some time ago. If you haven't done any ortho and you would like to, have a look in the playlists from Let's Fly VFR and you'll find ortho and how to do it in there. Get a bit of G's on, just pulling 5 as we go around. And you can see the variations in the water and some of the textures because I've only done a couple of blocks of the higher level, so you can see borders between it, which is a good way to just to see what the differences can be in orthos between the 16, the 17, 18 and 19 zoom levels. But this is really nice. I was getting 50 to 60 frames per second through here. Let's shoot through and do a bit of a airshow pass as we go through. Now there is also a helmet mounted display which you can turn on. So there's a lot of things to discover here. So again, it's just a little introduction. If you're looking for a jet fighter to take flying wherever around the world, there's a lot of countries have got these. The United States has a couple of different variations, one for the Air Force, one for the Navy, and one for the Marines. Some of those having the vertical takeoff and landing mods. Let's roll him around. Done some great work with the engines. Those pressure rings as you see at the back there as we go up, and lots of trails happening off the wingtips. Let's head back down to the ground. And the only place you're going to find, get a real feeling for the speed is low level. Let's head back up a bit for a second. And a few warnings, I think, from low level. Rolling back down again. And we've got some mountains and some decent sized hills out here. So let's head out and give that a bit of a look. And you can see all the weapons bay doors and everything down there. As we head skyward, we'll head up, then we'll come back down and we'll do a bit of low level work, hey? Now the clouds are looking pretty nice as well. They've been a bit of work done. Maybe it's part of the particle system we had from quite a while back. Waiting very impatiently for 11.50 to get released so we can get hopefully some more performance with the Vulkan API, which is so painfully close, I would like to think. We'll be talking about that more once it comes out, and we'll be looking at the performance. And for me, I'm very interested in how it might help my VR experience and give me some more frames, because just as a highlight, you can see the difference between a couple of ortho tiles there, guys. You can see the differences. It's a very stark line between them. So let's get that burner running, and we'll get down to low level and scoot around a little bit. Now this is the around the Newcastle, New South Wales, which is north of Sydney. It's a big fighter base up there. They've got all sorts of things. The F-35s actually fly out of there, I'm pretty sure. We have some. I'm sure we have some there and some up at Amberley. And probably filling up over in, maybe up in Darwin as well. Catherine, we have a few air bases around. We have F-18s and the F-35s coming in. The old F-18As or the classics must be all getting very tired. I'm not sure whether we're still flying them or we might still be. But they came in while I was still in the Air Force back in 1986. We got our first ones. So this is a real generational leap forward as we have a bit of a buzz around in the F-35 Lightning. Now these ones have actually seen combat now. Israel has got their own version of the F-35 Lightning 2, and they've taken that into combat very successfully, it would seem, in recent months, and the first one to have done so. First country, certainly, that I'm aware of. I don't think the United States has yet to use it in anger, but it may be the case. I love those particle effects, doing real well as we pull it back over the top. I think the work done by this by the guys is a real credit to them. Now it is a freeware model, but it also has a donation with. So if you really like what you've got, feel free to fling the guys a few pounds, dollars as you like, as we come in and touch down back at Williamtown Air Base over there on the right. So I hope you enjoyed that little flight, a little introduction. Feel free to subscribe and like if you've enjoyed. Visit the channel, have a look around, visit letsflyvfr.com and enjoy this F-35A by Michael and his friends.